Okay, guys, so we are welcome back to continue the observational learning revision. This is where we got to factors affecting observation or observational learning. In case you're seeing this for the first time, then remember that we've done the part one of the observational learning revision. So quickly make time to watch it on the YouTube channel, Faculty of Intellectuals, okay? Those of you who are on the WhatsApp platform site with Siddik, you definitely have the links there. If you're not there, then you should be added. Okay. Okay. So I'll give you my number. My number is in the chat room, so we can get access to it. Once again, my name is Siddik Salis, and I'm walking through this revision, and we are using Dr. Inusa's slides because, like I said, it looks more simplified. I may say like organized, more organized to me. It looks more organized and easy to go through them, and it has been put in sessions. Some people don't like it that way, but I like it that way. Okay, so let's move on. Factors affecting observational learning. So I was saying that, you see, sometimes you may pay attention to something, remember the thing, and you wouldn't be able to reproduce it. You wouldn't be able to mimic it. You understand? The reason being that it can sometimes be the developmental level of the learner, you the learner. How many of us have watched Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, and we can mimic what they do? Or Michael Jackson, his backsliding. I've watched it over and over, but here we are talking of even the developmental level, okay, not even the ability per se, but the developmental level comes with the ability, right? So if a child watches how do you call it, Bukom Banku, he can remember how Bukom Banku was. He can pay attention, watch the fight till the end, but he cannot fight like Bukom Banku. Why? Because he's not biologically developed to that level. So the question is, does the fact that a child watches a dance model mean that she can motor reproduce the model's fine artistic skills? The answer is no. Okay, so here maturation or maturity counts here. Let's move to the next one. Like I said, we wouldn't be wasting much time. Okay. Status and prestige of the model also influence the learning here. Meaning the one you are watching, the one you're observing, okay, the one you are learning from, if that person is someone of high prestige, okay, or high status, the influence will be intense. Okay, so let me give you an example. Right now, let's say I'm taking you through some studies or revision. Do you know that if the lecturer himself is to organize this, how do you call it, revision, you are going to pay much more attention than this? The reason is of higher status and prestige, let me put it that way, than myself. Do you get the thing? So you pay much attention. So the status of the person even makes you pay extra attention. You understand? To how do you call it? The process. Pay attention, and that you will never forget. Like whatever you'll be learning on, let's say Friday night, or the questions you'll be solving, if it's with the lecturer, you make sure you don't forget them. You make sure you pay much attention and you grab. So the status of the person is very, very important. So studies show that learners will more likely imitate a prestigious person than an average person. You understand? So young people usually are attracted to imitate accomplished footballers, musicians, actors, etc. If the person has gained that height, okay, you'll be motivated to be. So those who were course reps when they came to level 100, they were looking up to those who were in level 400, and they were politicians, and they were the SRC presidents and the speakers and whatever. Now they are almost in level 400. So those people will not be of much concern to them anymore when you complete school, now you are now looking at, so those you're looking at before, you are expecting that they should climb higher. If not, you'll be looking at someone else, okay, higher than you, than someone. So now you'll be looking at people like Baumia, Mahama, Nanado, Kufuor. People are now looking at up to Kufuor because he has accomplished a mission. People are now looking at Barack Obama. So people are looking at higher level of status than they were looking at before. So the status and prestige of the model, very important. Similarity of models. So if the model happens to be, even there, in this case, there are even religious factors, tribal factors, political affiliations, okay? How you can relate with the person. So it can be tribal. So if the person is from your tribe, it's like it enhances the learning more. If the person is from the same religion, let's say same tribe, same religion, same political party. There are some people we are very good. We are on very good notes. They'll come and hail me, Oracle, Oracle, Charlie, you did this and this, and they'll hail me. But when it gets to politics, because they are NDC, because they are NDC, the way they can roast me, and I find it to be normal. The reason is we have some disparities here. We have some discrepancy here. We have some differences here. So they are allowed. At that point, they don't see you as their model. Okay, when it comes to politics, you are not like politics, general politics, NDC, MPP, you are not their models. You understand? When it comes to other stuff, yes, you are their model. You understand? And I understand. And for me, family, you understand. So because I understand, because you know you understand psychology and you understand people, because you understand yourself. You too, for example, maybe Mahama would not be a good model for me. You too, Nana will not be, or Baume will not be a good model for you. Why? Because the similarity is not there. So learners are more likely to pay attention to a person who is similar to them in terms of beliefs, attitudes, or behavior. So the observer will imitate the model's behavior if the model possesses characteristics such as talent. Let me add this people. Okay. Okay, such as talent, intelligence, power, good looks, or popularity, which the observer finds attractive or desirable. So if the person has something in common with you, and trust me, these things, studies have proven all that. If the person, what the person is doing, you realize that the person, oh, wow, it has the talent. You can relate to the talent. You can relate to the intelligence. Okay. The power the person is controlling. Okay. Good looks and all these things, they count. Okay. Let's proceed. Vicarious consequences. Vicarious consequences can be good or bad, can be positive or negative, right? So if something good, and this also influence our learning and observation. If the one you are observing ends up badly, or ends up or like gain negative, or what do we call it? Punishment, that will weaken the learning. But if the person is rewarded, that will strengthen the learning. Okay. We are done with it. So let's quickly, I'm quickly switching to I'm quickly switching to the next session, then we are done. Oh no, not this one. We are done with this. So it should be this. Oh, so let me close them so that they will not confuse me. Okay, we have it now. Sure. Okay. So this is a part 2, and then we'll be out of here. Very few slides. We're almost done. So what do we expect in the slides? The outline. Effects of observational learning, which we are on it. Reinforcement and punishment in observational learning. We are done with that. Then we come to the application of observational learning in everyday situations. So that's why I rushed here. So factors, yes, these factors are also important. So we have the acquisition. The acquisition, I've mentioned it already. That's the overall process of paying attention and retention, and then reproducing and being motivated. All this is part of the acquisition process. So observational learning helps a learner acquire new responses by observing the model. So this is what we call acquisition. You remember acquisition in classical conditioning, right? Yes, that is. For that one, it's about pairing. Who is this? Someone has typed. Can we say the similarities here is also motivation? The similarities, you see, all the factors we looked at before this slide, which similarity was part of it, they are factors that affect the learning process. Okay, so it can either motivate it or weaken it. You understand? For example, if the similarities we mentioned are not there, the attitude, the beliefs, and all that, they are not there, it means the learning will be weakened. And if they are there, will be motivated. You understand? The person will be motivated to learn, meaning the learning will be strengthened. Okay. So now I hope you understand anyways. So effects of observational learning, and we've talked about acquisition. So we have acquisition, we acquire the learning process. That is, in classical conditioning, we mentioned about associating neutral stimulus with unconditional stimulus, which will elicit unconditioned response. Then later, this neutral stimulus will become conditioned stimulus. So all this process is acquisition in classical conditioning. In operant conditioning, we are saying that acquisition is paying attention, retention, motor reproduction, and motivation. That's acquisition. That's the process. So you acquire the behavior of the model. Okay, you acquire a new behavior of the model. When you say new responses, that's new behavior. Don't forget that response in psychology means behavior. Welcome, Anissa. Okay, so inhibition. Inhibition is you've learned, let's say you've acquired or you are acquiring, let's say you've acquired a behavior, okay, a response. Something will happen and then you will hide that behavior. Let's say you are speeding on the road. The subtopic is effect of observational learning, the one we are studying now. Okay. Or we say features, or what do we say? Anyways, so these are some, how do you call it? Features, how learning, observational learning looks like. We can either acquire it. So what can affect observational learning can be the acquisition. The acquisition is the overall process, like I said. Inhibition, you've learned, you've acquired a behavior. And I'm using an example like speeding or overtaking. Good, overtaking. You are riding and then you want to overtake. Then you realize that someone has overtaken already and the police has stopped the person. What do you think will happen? You will inhibit that overtaking you wanted to do. So that person is like your model. Okay, but then you will inhibit it, you will hide it. Exactly. Let me give you a kind of joke. There's this guy was driving, and you know when you are driving this convoy, when the convoy, they are coming every way, pathway for the convoy. Woo! It can be anybody, it can be minister, it can be the president, we don't know, but we just make way. Do you know that there are some people, when the convoy, people pave way for the convoy, they also follow, like the last convoy car, they followed the car so that they also beat the traffic. This time around, not knowing, this guy has been doing that. This time around, it was the army. Now you can tell you yourself, you can end the story. You can end the story. So imagine you saw this person and you also want to follow the convoy, and what happened to him? Let's even say you were watching movie and you are saying that this guy used to, any convoy, he will follow the convoy just to beat the traffic, and then this is what has happened to him in the news. If you take your car and you are in the traffic, you inhibit that behavior. So through observational learning, a response that otherwise may be made is changed when the observer sees a model being punished. Okay? So what do you think when the model is not being punished, but rather rewarded? I mean, the person achieved a positive goal. What do you think will happen? Will there be inhibition? The answer will be what? No, there won't be inhibition. There will be the opposite of inhibition, that is exhibition. Exhibition. Now, exhibition is different from disinhibition. Now, disinhibition is you've learned a character or a behavior, but you've inhibited it. Just like I made an example with the person who was following the convoy. You've learned that, okay, some people used to follow the convoy to beat the traffic. Then there was a time you realized that the person has been caught and by the army, disciplined by the army. So you inhibited it. Then occasionally you realize that some people are doing it and they are going scot-free with it. That thing you have inhibited, now you are going to disinhibit it to come out. So it's more like exhibition. But exhibition too is on its own. With exhibition, you've acquired a behavior and you are showing it. So you see, that one, you didn't inhibit it in the first place. Disinhibition is the one that you've hidden in you, you've buried it, and then you realize that, oh, okay, now, for example, Shatawale was arrested because he showed a gun by Dampari, for example, in public. Okay. So because of that, you be scared, right? Now Shatawale came out, started doing the same thing he was doing, showing gun and all that, and nothing was happening again. That will make you disinhibit what you have buried in you. You will unbury it. That is disinhibition, different from exhibition. Facilitation. Sometimes observing others serves to remind the learner of certain behaviors they already know and urges them to exhibit the said behavior. You know, some of you are good learners, right? But then your friend would then take a book to learn and you'd be like, I have to learn, right? I have to learn. But you have been learning all this, but this time and this semester you are slow. You understand? So you got to campus. You know, sometimes being on campus is very, very necessary because you feel the peer pressure of your roommate and the whole people in the hostel, at least to learn. And sometimes apo can pie in the middle of the night. You understand? And you see people waking up to learn. So when you see people learning, it then motivates you to learn. You already know, some people don't know how to learn. You know how to go about your learning already, but just that you were being adamant on that, you were being slow on that, you understand, so cool on that. Then these people made you. So let's say, now let me bring it to the road. You know how to speed. But then you're like, what if the police, then you saw people like speeding and no police or police is not saying anything. Then you also speed up. That's facilitation. So their behavior facilitated yours. Creativity. We say sometimes an observer will observe several models perform and then adapting a combination of characteristics of styles. And this one is easy for us to know. You understand? You learn from different people, and then when you combine everything of this one has this one has A behavior, B behavior, C behavior. Just like a child seeing the parents, the father having this kind of characteristic, the mother, and then he combined everything. And then we say that his learned behavior is creative, meaning he didn't learn it from one source. Okay, reinforcement and punishment. We've talked about this in the previous, operant conditioning. But then it's also reflecting in observational learning, not operant conditioning here. So one of the reinforcers are vicarious reinforcers, which I've talked about that already. When good thing happens to your model, we have 10 minutes to leave, and I'm praying that we finish this before we leave. Okay, when good things happens to your, how do you call it? The model or the one you are observing, then you also be motivated to exhibit such behavior, right? So that's vicarious reinforcement. Let's move on. Like I said, we need to vicarious punishment. When your model is being punished, then you will inhibit that behavior. Like I made an example with Shatawale or the person following the convoy and all that. Okay. Intrinsic reinforcement and punishment. So with this one happens to you. Okay. Intrinsic reinforcement is you want to do this. It's not about you seeing the reward or punishment your model is receiving. You think you can do it your way, and then you'll be fulfilled when you do it. So these are related to an individual's internalized standards of behavior against which he or she measures his or her performance. If you exceed your own standards by reproducing a model's behavior, you feel self-esteem, okay, which is a powerful form of reinforcement. So when you do it, you know that you feel fulfilled when you have to do it. This will encourage you in learning. On the other hand, if you fall short of those standards, you feel self reproach, which is a form of punishment. So when you feel down, you understand? So this one is intrinsic reinforcement or punishment. Okay. In our daily lives, I've made a lot of examples. We can apply this at home when you are talking, when you are doing so and so. Everything you are doing, know that there are people observing you. Okay, but then how do you observe it? At workplace, we can apply this when the boss will be like, okay, so come and observe something. You all go and stand there, and then, that is the boss. So the model is of higher level. So you pay attention and all that. It's used in apprenticeship. It is used in teaching children how to cook in the home. It is used in the classroom when the teacher is teaching, a whole lot. So let me skip this quickly. You see, they've mentioned workplace, some form of job training, such as seen in apprenticeship. So all these things I've mentioned there you can have time to read it yourself. That's if you want anyways. But if you have understood the topic of discussion, then you are good to go. Do children learn to be violent from watching violent TV programs? Then know the kind of programs your children watch and all that. Okay, we don't need to be told that. Okay, so on this note, let's go now straight to the next thing to do. So the next thing to do is to bring in questions, feelings, and objective questions, including essay questions, and we would be solving them. Today, I intended that we would be meeting in the morning, which unfortunately there were a lot of schedules on me, a lot of files here. As I'm speaking to you, a lot of files, and I'm still not out of here. You understand? So I intended that we'd finish this tonight, and then God willing, tomorrow we'll have it earlier before evening, so that in the evening you will have time to go through your normal studies, okay? Or later in the night, you can go through your normal studies. I'm also looking at having face-to-face, if we can do it face-to-face. Yes, that's also not a problem. Maybe we can start by 4 p.m. and close 6. So if you have any other thing to do, then you go and do it. But then, before then, make sure you understand everything we've discussed. Make time for the videos watch them even if you want to sleep, or if you are just doing some, put the earpiece, you are going to night market to buy something. Just put earpiece and then you'll be going, yes, face to face. Someone's a giftee. I think that's Fiona. Okay. So let's see. We'll talk on the platform if there'll be face to face. Let me look at my schedules and then see how best we can go about it. So we meet and then we have that discussion before Saturday. Trust me. And remember this word, I've mentioned it to you when you were in level 100, cogito ergo sum. The psychologist said, I think, therefore I am. Remember that? Face to face will do. Derek says so. Yes, Fiona. Okay, so cogito ergo sum, meaning I think, therefore I am. Meaning your apprehension about yourself. It's a self-motivation to you. It's motivation. It's what actually you are. If you think you're a poor man, so be it. That's who you are. If you think you can't afford, that's what it is. That is what it is. You can't afford. If face to face won't help with those outside Accra. Obed, come to Accra. Obed, come to Accra. Accra is hot, and you think we should feel the heat alone? Come to Accra. Come and feel the heat some. So if you think you are going to make it, even that thing alone, thinking I can accomplish this, psychology says you are done with half of the job. Sometimes you may know something, but because you told your mind that I can't get an A, I can't make an A in this exams. You go and sit in the examination hall, you know the thing, but because you told yourself that the neurons are firing into that direction, that I don't know direction. So I told you sometimes someone was in the classroom and he was asking his colleague to spell something for him. Listen to what he wants the person to spell. And this is what he was saying. He said, please, I beg again, spell me if, if. This is what he was saying. He said, spell me if. See the thing? He knows the thing, but because he has told himself, there was a kid in class, because the kid was told, you don't, you wabon, osha, you don't know anything. The kid accepted that. Okay, that started working on the kid. He was asked a simple question. He said, 1 + 1. He stood up and said, I don't know, sir. And the teacher then said, relax, you know. The kid then told himself, I know. The teacher then asked him, I said, 1 + 1. What is it? Look, 1 + 1. He said 2. And this is what happens to some of us. So we know. Cogito, the word is cogito ergo sum. Let me type it here. Cogito ergo. Cogito is from like cognition. Yeah. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Sometimes people used to tell me, when people hear I'm reading law, they say, hey, Siddik, I learned law is difficult. Hey, you are trying, no. I tell the person, no. People know me from level 100. When you say this course is difficult, I'll just tell you that, oh, the course is time demanding. The course is challenging. But for me to say it's difficult, I've never told myself that. Not in any situation. When I got this job, trust me, I've never been in shipping or oil and gas. Never. I've even not worked for any corporation before. I've always worked for myself. But then when they asked me, can you do this? I said, yes, I can do it. Then I'll take the thing, I'll go to the same person. I said, help me with it. When you teach me, I can do it. And trust me, and I'm a boss, you understand? I'm a boss, I'm the HR. I go to my subordinates, I say, hey, what is this? Those who are doing other things like accounts and all these things, and they teach me, and then sometimes it's even about visa. I play 2 roles. I'm the meet and greet manager and I'm the human resource manager. Meet and greet, I meet with all these expatriates. I process their visa for them, welcome them, and then we discuss. Because I didn't know, I had no idea, and it's stressful, and it is. But then I'll go to people and they'll be like, I know, like, teach me, I would. You understand? Nothing is difficult. You know what you're going to write on Saturday. Make time, revise, and tell yourself you're going to make an A. On this note, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Make sure I'm posting this on YouTube as well. So in case you were late or you missed some of the parts, you can still go back to watch. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your night. We're out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.